Good morning everybody, welcome back to
Morning.
the Finca. Another beautiful day. It is warm but it's not unusual for this time of year. We're not complaining anymore. We've got a few clouds in the sky but that's great. It gives us a bit of shade every now and again. Walked the dogs, well Andy walked the dogs this morning. I hobbled
Got dragged
behind
by the dogs.
with the treats. I think they met me coming back by the time I'd got to where they were, but yeah, Bruce terrified of a tractor. He refused to walk any further, so Andy had to turn round and come back the same way. He's a big wuss, and yet anybody like Emilio yesterday picking the almonds, he's there at the pen, he's woof 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 woof, really aggressive, and he's not really. He's
Yeah,
a big
we
scaredy
think
cat.
he's a bit scared and that's why he reacts that way.
Yeah.
But we'll bring him on.
We'll bring him on. They've eaten my chair. I shall show you later. I stupidly left it in the pen with them yesterday because, as you know, I was sitting with them in the morning to keep them quiet, and I thought they'll be fine. And then last night we went round to feed them and they've eaten the chair. So.
Less than a day that lasted.
I don't know, bless them, but they are lovely. Yeah. So today I'm on light duties again.
Yes.
I noticed all the windows with the sandstorm that we had the other day, they're just covered in sand. So that's something that I can do standing up without having to walk too far, and I'm okay standing. It's when I've got to put one foot in front of the other that I get pain, and at night it's really painful trying to turn over in bed, it wakes me up. But yeah, so I'm going to do the windows today, clean down all the frames and clean the windows. Not very exciting. What are you up to, Andy?
Yes, we've got a high power demand day today because you want to do
I need to do a wash,
a hot
whitewash.
whitewash, yeah. Also, we're pumping water. It's already pumping now out of the deposit. The level doesn't seem to be dropping, or not noticeably anyway, which is absolutely fantastic news, because I think the first lot we put 20,000 litres in. I think we lost 15, something like that.
We did.
But now, yeah, it seems to be holding up. So yeah, we're pretty happy about that. So we're still trying to get it out. We've been using a lot of water on the land.
Yeah.
So that we're going to try and get the IBCs filled up today, and then we'll top up our storage tank tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm going to make the door the door for the downstairs loo, the downstairs WC in the old corral. So I've got a lot of cutting to do, and we've got the pump for the pumping to do, and then the washing machine on a super hot wash to do. So we've got big power demands, but we're pulling in nearly 1.5 kilowatts at the moment. So we should be all right. We'll just stop the pumping if we need to. So without further ado,
let's crack on.
Okay, so I've got my outdoor workshop set up, ready for the cutting of the wood. I'm just pumping at the minute from our thing to the one furthest up the land. I'll do that one first because it's got the longest. It's about 40 metres away, and about an 8 metre lift, so that's the slowest one. So we're trying to get that one done first. I've got to unplug the pump to plug the saws in because I've only got one extension lead out here. I need to sort some power out. Always something to sort out. So let's have a look at the door. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the ledges. The door, the original opening was 700 millimeters, but I'm going to remeasure it now because they've got to go inside. Remember the things I put on yesterday, and then I need to rip the groove off that side and the tongue off that side. So I've got 3 pieces. That one's already done. 3 pieces suitable to put on the door. I'll have to use one of these, obviously. I don't like cutting new ones if I've got offcuts. So first of all, I'll go and measure the width that I need. Right, so the inside of the door width is 650-ish mil, just over. So I'm going to make the ledges to 640. It should be pretty much the same all the way up. Yeah, take the bottom. Oh. Yeah. So I'm going to cut the ledges to 640mm. So as always, I've had a change of plan. Because they're 640, these are 2 meters long. So I'll get all the 3 that I want out of one piece, and it doesn't have the grooves on the back either. These will keep for a future project, no doubt, for a future door or something. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a piece out and take the tongue off one side and the groove off the other side. That way as well, I won't need to worry too much about making the width exactly the same as this one. I can just take it off, and what's left is going to be the same for all 3 ledges. So we'll get that done first. Now the other side, the same. There we go, quite a nice, interesting piece of wood that as well. So now I'm going to cut it on the other saw into 640 lengths. So the same as before, I'm going to take the tongue off. This is going to be the edge of the door, one edge of the door. So I'm going to take the tongue off this side. The reason I'm taking the tongue off is because I make the door face down, outside face down, and I glued the next one to it along the tongue. If you glue on the back of the tongue, it stops the glue coming through onto the face, and if any comes out, it just comes out the back. Just wipe it off with a wet cloth. You'll see in a minute. But yeah, this wood is absolutely lovely, super quality from Leroy's, I think it is. Yes, it is, because Chris picked it up for me. Here's your wood, Chris, look at it, fantastic, thanks. Okay, so I've got my 3 ledges there, and I've got my one edge of the door there. I need 4 more. So what I'm going to do, I'm now going to cut this one and 4 other pieces to the height that I want the door. You've got to remember, it's end matched, which means it's got a tongue on one end and a groove on the other one. So check your ends. I noticed on this one there's actually a little knot. If you can see that, it's not easy this. And then so I'm going to cut that out. So what I'm going to do, I'll take the tongue off the bottom of this one, and then measure it from my clean edge up, and then that'll take out that knot and probably that bit as well. You can't see that either, can you? That knot and maybe this bit as well. That knot and maybe this bit as well. I'll get there in the end with it. So I'll get those cut and come back to you when I've done them. Right, so we're all cut. It's important to make sure that your cuts are accurate, otherwise you'll have your top of your door will have steps in it, or your bottom of your door will have steps in it, which is not good. All I've got to do now, I'm going to glue them together and put the ledges on, but I need to take the groove off the end of this one. I've turned it all over, but I'll do that last when I see what my exact width of the door is to fit in my hole. So we're them glued. Right, okay, so we've got all our bits cut out, we're going to fix them together. I clamped this end one, I'm clamping it so it doesn't move, because sometimes these are a bit warped and you need to beat on them a bit. What I've done, because my table's square, I don't have to worry about squaring my door up, so I've clamped it on. I'm just going to put a bead of glue along the back edge of the tongue here, and then slot them in. He says that's a lot, they go pretty well, these. So we'll get them stuck together and come back to you in a moment. I just had a thought, I will show you this. I know it's in other videos, but so just run your bead along the back edge of your tongue, just like that. So if any comes out, then it comes out the back, and you can wipe it off easily with a wet cloth. I'm concentrating now, you see. Right, oh, put that down there. When you do it all the way along, drop it over, and then attempt to get it in, which is sometimes easier said than done. So, that's it. Smashing. Sometimes you need to tap them. If you do, use an offcut, put it in the groove and give it a whack with a hammer. But this one's gone in absolutely lovely. I don't know if you can see the glue has come out. We just need a wet cloth and just wipe it off and it's done. Right, so I'll get the rest of them done now. Right, so I'm back sooner than I thought. I've got 3 boards in. I'm going to put the ledges in now, and then the last 2, well, we'll get to that in a minute. So I've decided I'm going to put them 200mm down from the top, and I'm going to set it in 38mm. That should then give me enough clearance on the 2 beads that we put on the other day to allow it to close. So make sure we get it horizontal. We'll check it on that board. 200. Check it on this board. 200. 200. Check this one again. Yeah, pretty good. All I'm going to do now, I'm going to stand it up, glue it on the back, and then nail it in place. I'll do this one separately when we get to it, and that'll just hold it flat. So, where's my glue? It's over here. We don't move it, he says. That's it. Okay. We've got our handy nailer here. Watch your ears. It's broken. Right, so I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, I haven't loaded it properly. So, 2 in the end. That's it. And then 1 either side. Oh dear. Sort him out in a minute. Nail's not got in properly. How does that one? Must be a really hard knot or something in there. Okay, then we'll get the other 2 on as well at this stage. Right, so I've got my 3 ledges in. Just going to do the last one. I'll have to come round there, I think. Same again, bead just on the edge there. Something like that anyway. Right, so now I'm going to lay it down flat. I'm going to try it. It needs to go under these, and I'm going to put a blob where it corresponds to these. like that. Oops, I'm putting him in my way. Stupid boy. Then lift him up. Everything's in my way. Get him somewhere near. And then same again. Get him in there. I'm going to pop these clamps back on it now, just in case I need to whack it. Get it back square. Stick them back on. You can't have enough clamps, you know, you can't have too many clamps. Right, and then we'll slot him in. So I'll have a wrestle with it and come back to you in a second when we do the last one. Okay, so we've got the 4 in and the ledge is on. The last one, we need to obviously take the groove off it, but I need to cut it to the actual finished width of my door. As you can see, I've got plenty of overlap, and it's going to be 685 millimeters. This is 560 so far, so I need to rip this board down to a finished width, not including the tongue, of 125. So I'll get that cut down now on the other saw, same as we did the other ones before. Right, so we'll just pop the clamps off again so we can lift it to get the last piece in. We've ripped it down. Like that's tight. Right, so it's finished. Looks very nice. I've just clamped 2 pieces on here just to keep it flat in case it decides it wants to move about overnight. We need to leave it now until tomorrow. So I've missed the nail. And then we can get it hanging. So yeah, you have to wait till tomorrow to see that one.
This is Thug Life. Just brought you round to, they just had an operation, as you know. They're jumping up down all giddy. Bruce is destroying the blanket out of the kennel that I painstakingly washed for him the other day. Brucey, what are you doing? Brucey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't jump, Bear. And this is the poor chair. Look at the state. I don't know what we're going to do with them. Well, that's about it for today, folks. The door is made, but obviously needs to set the glue overnight, so can't hang that until tomorrow. I've not done very much. I have washed all the window frames down and cleaned the windows, which was my job for today. It's taken me ages because it's like I'm taking baby steps at the moment, but every day is a bit easier, so I'm hoping that soon I'll be back to normal and back on that little wall.
Hopefully, it's killing me.
Yeah. You see, you realise it's what I used to do now.
Right, well, we've got the rest of the house done. It'll be a full-time job, I think.
Just maintaining.
Just keeping it nice, yeah. Well, not to worry. Yeah, so yeah, the door's done. I'm going to get it fitted tomorrow. Yeah, that's about it really.
Yeah,
there's nothing more to report.
No.
So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed the video as always. Hopefully you've learned something from it. Nothing bad, I hope. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please consider subscribing somewhere down there, little red button. Check the bell next to it, select all, and you'll get notified automatically every time we upload a video, which is pretty much every day. So yeah, until tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys.